Hey, what's going on? Always somebody that just comes in for 5 seconds and leaves. Hey, what's up? I've got one silent person here, and they left. One person back again. Feel free to say something. And they left. Must be nobody wants to talk tonight. Notifications must not be going out worth the crap again. Hey, what's going on? I keep having people come in and just sit and don't say nothing, then leave. Hey, Deborah. How are you doing this morning? Are you working or haven't started yet? I'm doing okay. It's 8:25 in the evening here, so not doing much. I was just sitting here watching TV, and I've seen it before, so seems like you've got kind of a nice place where you're working there. Better than what I've seen some of the other girls work in. Yeah, you're 13 hours ahead of me now since we went back to standard time. We're no longer on daylight saving time. I wish they'd quit changing it back and forth. It just gets confusing when you're talking to people around the world. Somebody else just came back in again and then left. That's okay. I didn't even catch it. That you was off 5 minutes there, or 10 minutes rather. You're still way ahead of me, either way. Is Gene working too, or you guys have the same days off? Or do you even get days off there? Somebody else just came in. Now we'll see if they say something or if they leave again. Yep, there they go. They left again. Hard to figure people. I've had probably half dozen people pop in, just sit there for a second and then leave. Don't say nothing. Oh, there's Gene. So both of you are working and both of you are goofing off. I'm doing okay. Doesn't do any good to complain. Nobody listens. I've had a whole bunch this evening. Just they come in, sit there for a few seconds, and then leave. And don't say nothing. The person you work for there, is he also a Filipino or is he a foreigner? Hey, Josh. Josh, you getting any snow up your way yet? I've seen some other YouTube videos the past couple of days where several northern states in the U.S. have gotten a bunch of snow. Hey, Tina. It's late for you. I think you're, what, 5 hours ahead of me? I've got 8:30, so that would put you at 1:30 a.m. Just a sprinkle, huh? I was watching, like I said, a couple other YouTube videos, and they were showing, I think, Minnesota and Wisconsin got a bunch of snow. One of the videos showed they even had the snow plows out. There's a couple places in New York that got quite a bit of snow. And then there's a couple of them there that they didn't get a whole lot of snow, but the person doing the video made it sound like they were knee deep, in snow or whatever. What's early, Tina? You said, wow, that's early. What are you referring to? YouTube must be really screwing up tonight because right now it shows there's nobody here, but people are still talking. A couple of my last live streams, all the comments have disappeared off them. I don't know why. I've heard rumors that YouTube has been going through and just deleting comments and whatnot everywhere. They're doing what they're calling a cleanup to get rid of stuff that's offensive to young kids. But, so many people are saying that all of their comments are disappearing or their things have been turned. They're finding that what's happened is YouTube's just turned the comments off. I'm okay, Tina. It's like I said, it's 8:30 in the evening here, and I'm not doing much. I've already had my supper tonight. I'll sit here watching TV. And most generally, somebody else has got a live going right now. I didn't see any others going, so I thought, well, I'd go ahead and do one then. Yeah, I checked the other day to find out, why, just Googled it, why my comments are disappearing. And there's several people who've got videos out on it saying that YouTube had gone through and they're doing that cleanup, whatever, and they were just turning the comments off on a lot of channels. But I went back into the settings on mine, and they were still set for all comments, no filters, nothing. Well, used to be whenever you did live, the comments didn't show up until the next day, and your watch hours for that live don't show up for 2 days. But every live I've done lately, my comments show up immediately after I end it. But then, I've had 20 comments in the comment section down below, and then the next day they'd all be gone and never come back. So like I say, I just wasn't sure what was going on, but I mean the comments aren't a big deal, but they do help, as far as reaction to your live stream, your video, whatever, just to give you a push up in the group, because the more comments stuff you get, then when they categorize all of the videos and live streams together, the ones with the more comments are at the top of the list, so you see them sooner. I don't have any mods. That's been what others have asked me, because the moderator can go through and delete all that stuff if they want. I don't have any, so I can't blame it on that. I usually don't have that big of a crowd here that I've had a problem, or I've had to have, a moderator helping to keep stuff straightened out or anything. So I've just been running without them. I did take on a couple of my live streams. I went ahead and, made a bunch of people moderator just that night, and it took them away later. But I just did that so people could post their links and share and whatever. But I don't, I haven't been leaving them otherwise. I've always just thought that, too many moderators just causes problems. And that's what a lot of channels do, that, they'll make everybody that comes in and make them a moderator. Okay. So Tina, was I right? It's 1:30 at your place? Yeah, but I went back in because I mean, if you have them set where they filter out certain words or whatever like that, or if YouTube does it either, they go into your held for review panel and you can go back later and look at them and either delete them or okay them to be in, just like you do in the live chat. But there's nothing there. Now I had one comment got moved on my last video. It showed up in the notifications, that the person made the comment, but it never showed up on my video, in the comments underneath of it. And I think it was just because of a couple words that the person put in it, which was nothing wrong, but just the way YouTube interprets it, and they deleted the comment. But one of the problems with half of what gets done on YouTube that way, it's not done by a person, it's done by a computer. Okay, Josh, it's on the last, I think just the last three, because the previous ones all have a lot of comments on them. They got 20 and 30 comments. But on the last three, before tonight, one of them's only got, I think, one comment, and it's just where I made a comment of saying that YouTube's removing them, or however I phrased it. Another one's got one comment that I answered somebody else, because I know at one time it had 20 comments on there and they all disappeared. And then the other live stream, I think, has 5 comments. That's all that's remained on there. And if people don't realize that it's YouTube doing it, not me, then they're going to get upset about it, thinking I'm deleting all their comments and they won't come back. No, it's not in the live chat. It's the comments down underneath, the ones they make after the video's over with. That's where I'm losing them. The comments in the live chat, they're staying. Hey, Ken. You been out shoveling snow, Ken? I heard Wisconsin and Minnesota got snow. Parts of New York got snow. I was watching some YouTube videos earlier. Was it today? Or maybe it was yesterday. That somewhere up there like that, I mean, people had a couple videos there, and they were actually plowing the roads. They had enough snow to do that. And naturally, the first snow of the year, everybody's being out and not being cautious, and trying to drive like crazy. A lot of cars off in the ditch already. That's just like down here. It's the time of the year where we start getting some of them cool nights and people start running heat that they haven't checked their stuff over and whatnot like that, and then they end up having a fire. Yeah, Josh, it makes it look like, nobody ever commented or whatever on it, but there's a lot of views. And the people that did comment are going to come back and see that their comments are gone, and they're going to think I did it. That was part of why I did that little short video yesterday there about that trailer fire, to see how the comments come out on that or if they disappeared. They've all stayed so far. So I'll wait and see what happens on this one tonight. I do, but I most generally never think to even go back and look at the email. I've got so many emails in there from YouTube about that stuff, that so and so replied, so and so liked it, and whatever, that I've got thousands of them. I'll have to go back and check my email now and see if any of those. Yeah, well, that's what I was just going to say. I'll have to go see if any of them are in my email or not, or if they're gone there too. That would be interesting to know. Hey, Sammy. You're still working, Ken? Damn. Do you get enough customers to even make it worthwhile to stay that late? Are you happy, Sammy? Well, that would be all right if you had people in, where you had the potential to make money. But if you're just standing around watching the clock, that makes for a long day. Oh, the kitties are just getting into everything. I can't keep them in the yard half the time. When I go over across the road to feed the neighbor's dogs, half of them want to follow me over there. And going to have to order more food and stuff here again another day or two. I just need to decide to get rid of a few of them, and so it's not costing me so much for feeding them and everything. But I've kept them long enough now that I've got attached to them that I hate to give them up, but they're costing me a fortune. Sammy, you didn't do a live this morning, did you? I never saw any notification on it. Okay, Josh. Because usually every morning's when you do your update on the house. Oh, okay. I forget you're working off your load when you're out there instead of your Wi-Fi. I just got my new router tonight. Got it hooked up. It's supposed to be a lot faster internet also. I don't know how it's going to work. I ran some internet speed test on it earlier. As long as I have it hooked up with the Ethernet cable, I've got the faster internet. But if I try to run it with the Wi-Fi, so I can come over here and sit instead of being over there where the router's at, but my speed's only half of what it's supposed to be. Yeah, they're getting a lot of snow over here in places right now, Sammy. If you go on and look on YouTube, you can find a bunch of videos that people have put out just recently in the last few days of snow in different places up north here. I've seen a couple of them in New York where they got, they didn't have a lot of snow, for what we call a lot, but they got enough, that's on the roads and you see it on everything. Minnesota and Wisconsin got snow. One of the videos showed them out actually plowing the road. I don't miss shoveling the snow. I don't miss that cold either. Been down here too long. When I lived up north and I get down near freezing, I just accepted it and didn't think that much of it. I've been down here long enough now that when it gets down to 70, I'm cold. I went into town today. I was in both Publix and Walmart. They both have turkeys out. Publix had turkeys for 49 cents a pound, and Walmart's were around $1.50 a pound or so, I think it was. I would have thought that as big as Walmart is, they would have had them a lot cheaper. Okay, Ken, catch you later. All right, Sammy. So who else is here that's not talking? Sammy's in the background. She's busy. I think Jean's background. She's working. If Deborah's still here, she's background because she's working. And Josh said he'd be right back. Now I'm down to one person. Now I'm back up to two. Makes no sense. I'm back down to one. Back up to two. Back down to one. That's okay. Every time they come in and go out and stuff, it shows us another hit. I don't care. I got a bunch of rain going south of us tonight. I was looking at the weather map a little while ago. From looks like about Orlando south in the state is all rain. And you got to teach your carpenters how to fix your house or how to build it. That sounds encouraging. That kind of sounds like back when I was working in corrections. They promoted a girl, and then I had to train her to do her job so she could be my boss. That's how much sense that made. They using the same tile you had in the other room or a different design? What are you laughing at? I already ate. Trying to think, what did I have? Oh, I warmed up some turkey sausage I had from the other night. I warmed up some rice with chicken I had from the other night. And when I was in town today, I bought some potato salad. But I had a piece of pie. The pie was chocolate, coconut, pecan. And of course, my iced tea. You never did say, Sammy, are they using the same tile in the bathroom as they did in the other room, or are they a different print? I'll be able to see it from my third floor room. Hey, JB. I had a bunch of people here before, JB, but they've all doing other stuff or had to run for a minute. I'm okay, JB. Just out spending money today and doing nothing tonight. Your device wasn't connecting. Okay. I got that new router today. They sent me to upgrade my system here. And it tells you to go on your phone to the such and such an app to get the directions how to do everything on it. Well, I said, how can I go on there? First off, my phone don't have the apps and stuff. Hey, Raina. And the other thing is, if I don't have internet, how can I go on and do it anyways? So I just went ahead and tried to figure it out myself, how to put it together, got it set up, turned this on, logged in, and it kept saying limited internet. I couldn't do anything with it. I played with it and got disgusted with it. When I looked, found out I hadn't plugged in one cord. What do you want me to serve you, JB? I've still got some rice left. I got a bag of carrots in the refrigerator. Hey, Mike. JB, what do you mean using swab test? What are you getting swab tests for? I thought of that after I said that, JB. That's why I said I do have a bag of little small carrots. The ones, 2 bites and they're gone. I figured you like those. And being a Filipino, why don't you eat rice? All right, see, I've missed enough of your videos here lately. I didn't know you was doing a race tomorrow. And I heard you talking about one the other night, but didn't know when it was. It's like I went to the eye doctor yesterday for my 2-year checkup. And that's one of the things they asked me when I first got there, and I'm filling out the paperwork there at the front desk. Have I had the vaccine yet? I said, no. Okay. If it doesn't matter if you've had it or not, why do they ask? Well, I agree with that. And that's one of the reasons that so many in the Philippines eat it, because you don't have to eat a lot of it and you feel full. And it is kind of a cheap meal, per se. What I've been doing with my rice lately, when I fix it, I get a can of tuna fish, but it's chicken instead, and I just drain that off and then dump that in and stir it in with the rice when after I get it cooked. I add that to it when I last heat it, so the chicken is hot too. Just gives it a little bit of flavor that way. She's rapping again. She must be given to half of the Philippines. Rena, I haven't got any of the vaccine yet. I don't intend to at present. What do you mean I won't give you anything, Mike? Hi, Tinkerbell. Well, I've never done that yet either, JB. I've never had the test. I've never had the vaccine. My lip is sore right here inside. I bit it today. Every once in a while, just even talking. Where are you going, Sammy? Right now, even talking, my tooth will rub across this right and it hurts. Yeah, and it all depends on who they're doing it, because I've seen it done a couple different ways. Some of them kind of get a little carried away about how deep they're going and stuff with it. Others don't seem like they hardly do anything and call it good. I think some of the airlines are requiring a negative test before they let you fly too. I haven't got one, Josh, just because I didn't figure they did enough research on them before they started passing them out. And there's been too many people that have gotten sick from them. There's another Filipina that I talk to on occasion. She's an OFW, and her employer requested that she get it. And after she got hers, she got sick and been in the hospital a couple times with it. And she was several weeks before she finally got halfway around normal again. And something like that, is for an individual like she was, kind of makes it hard because you're not at home, you're not around family and stuff, and end up sick in the hospital or wherever. And the other thing with it, right now I'm presently not going anywhere, so I don't need it. And here in Florida, we're not required to even wear a mask or anything. And it wasn't too long ago that they said out of all the states other than Hawaii, which is somehow managed to maintain a low count, but then Florida was the lowest in the continental U.S. for COVID cases. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to a couple other people today. They're down here from Pennsylvania, and they just went and got their third shot. They're, making a big deal about wanting to get it and all worried about it. However, he said he's 73, so it makes it easier for him to go in and get it because all he's got to do is tell him his age, and they just say okay and give it to him. Well, I could probably do the same if I wanted to, but like I said, I'm just not interested. I'm not that far behind him in age. I'm almost as old as Tinkerbell and JB. I really don't want to get to be as old as them two girls are because that means I'll probably have to start running all the time. And that looks like too much work. Years ago, I used to do a lot of running, though. I ran all the time. Was on the track team in high school, junior high and high school, and ran a lot even after I got out of school. I haven't heard from her in a while. I've just kind of got the impression on her that she's only talking to everybody that wants to give her money. That's all she's after. Okay, Josh. I mean, she would be working now. And she said she can't use her phone inside where she works at. But before she was doing, lives on the way to work or in the evening or whatever, but she's not doing anything right now, so I don't know. Kind of don't care. I'm not going to. She's just been giving a sob story to too many people and getting people to give money to her. And she's always saying she don't have money for this, don't have money for that. But then yet she's going out to eat and stuff and always running to this one and that one and whatnot. It costs money to to travel back and forth and not. It's been a while, and I haven't heard nothing from her since. The only thing she did last time was then complain it wasn't enough. She needed more. I mean, I try to help people occasionally once in a while, when they're in need or whatever, but I'm not going to just be used. I've had that happen before. But she's got the point that she don't listen to anything but anybody tells her either. Just like with the puppies, every time she was on live stream with them, she'd get them and start shaking them around and bouncing with them and whatnot. Kept telling her that that's hard on them. They're too little for that stuff, and she just laughs about it. And even other people have made comments about the puppies, but she don't listen. I'm not going to use my money to get anybody. They're going to be there because they want to, not because I'm paying them. Hey, Maureen. Maureen, did you ever get your ID? I stopped at the post office here the other day and asked them here if they had your ID, but they didn't have it here either. Well, I can go down and check the post office here again tomorrow and see if it's here. If it does, I can send it to Maureen. Or at least I can show her what it looks like. Rena, they sent it back to sender. They forgot to put a stamp on it. It's a good thing, Ken. Maureen said she was going to give you 30 seconds more and she was going to call you, find out why you weren't there yet. Darn eyes blurring up tonight. Now, Ken, you weren't using your phone and driving, were you? Moving upstairs. Why? What's upstairs? I don't have that on my phone. Someday when I get rich, maybe I'll buy a new phone. I just need to find me a rich Filipina so I can afford to do that. But Rena, why are you moving upstairs? That's just more steps to get home. Or are you trying to get farther away from the barking dogs? What happened? Rena didn't pay her rent? So she's kicking her out? JB and Tinkerbell got quiet. Sammy got mad and left. Maureen got quiet. Well, there's JB. No, I'm not falling asleep, JB. Just my left eye for some reason tonight's watering up on me, and I don't know what's the matter with it. Then it makes everything I'm looking at blurry. Yeah, it's okay, Rena. You got to get that stuff wrapped. You've only got 37 more days till Christmas. Hell, Mike, I don't know if I can see if you're sitting in front of me. I'm having trouble just seeing the damn chat on the laptop. Damn, that's irritating. I lost another sub yesterday too, Josh. I don't even know who it was. No, that wouldn't be me, Ken. I don't touch that stuff. I mean, I could go back and check one channel to see if they're still subbed to me, on theirs, but I'm not going to bother chasing it. I had somebody sub to me the other day, and I told them I'd get back to them later, and I went and checked their channel out. I didn't sub to them afterwards because their whole channel is in either Tagalog or it's religion, and one I can't understand one, and I'm not interested in the other, so I can't see the purpose of me subbing to them. Hi, Belle. Yeah, Deborah's goofing off again. She's supposed to be working. Here she is on here. Yeah, I agree, JB. I don't even try. You know, I don't drop my link when I go into most places. Somebody says do it because somebody wants to see something that I do sometimes, but I don't go in like most of them do and drop it. I don't push nothing on it. I don't do anything fancy for my live streams or my videos. I mean, I might get more views if I go out and do a video of me shoveling snow or something, but Maureen, next time you're going to shout, let me know so I can cover my ears. I think you guys are just out trying to hurt me, shouting, hurting my ears, dropping links on my head. That's okay, Mike. You can just leave. JB asked for a jacket the other night so she could drop her link, and I gave it to her, and she still didn't do it. No, I knew you were. I didn't care. That's why I gave it to you. Must not be going to get cold here tonight, or as cold, whatever. It's still 68 outside. Yeah, the low tonight supposed to be 65. It's supposed to be that way all week up until Tuesday of this coming week. The low then's only supposed to be 36. Yeah, I don't miss that, Ken. That or that snow, either one. When I lived up north, and was used to it and didn't mind it, but I've been down here too long. Rena has her heater on. Good. There's no need to have to sit in the house with your coat and your hat on because you're cold. Has her heater on and her hat. The silly clowns across the road from me. This past week when it got cold here, one of the girls that's not staying there now, she's off living with a boyfriend, but she came in, spent one night or whatever, and had her friggin' air conditioning running. I could hear it, it's got window units over there. Had the air conditioner running all night long, and then they come out of the house next morning all wearing their coats. I mean, it was cold enough I had the heat on, and she had her air conditioner running. I get upset when my electric bill gets up $60 and above, and theirs is always way above 200. I mean, I save on my electric because I use propane, for my water heater, to clothes dryer, and to cook with. I do also have, propane heat. I haven't had used it in a long time. But even with that, I don't get that filled very often. think the last time I had my tanks filled was February of this, this year, past year, whatever. And I checked mine the other day, and my one tank's down to, I think, 35% yet. And I've still got a second tank sitting there. It gets a little expensive when I go to get it filled, because I try to let it run as long as I can, so I don't have to pay, for multiple small fills, paying the delivery fee. Yeah, if it's that hot there, Marine, get out the grill and cook up that rooster, and then throw the crab on the grill with it. Yeah, see, Josh had the same idea as I did. She's going to need more than that in Ohio. Have to get Marine and Rena both snowmobile suits when they come to Ohio. Hey, Anna Lynn, how you doing tonight? A couple lives ago, Judith was here, and I asked where you were, but she hadn't heard from you. Yeah, you want to get some warm boots, Rena, not just rubber boots like you have there. Your feet will freeze if you don't. Chick is doing window shopping. I'm doing all right, Anna Lynn. No, there isn't too much changes with me. Maybe it'll get cold enough down there, Anna Lynn. You will be able to see you do some ice skating. That's probably something you've never done yet. For those that don't know, Anna Lynn the Bounty is down a little bit south of Tampa. You like the cold. Didn't seem that way when you went to oh shoot, the ski resort there in New York. I can't even think what town it was in now. And I know too. They do have ice skating down there? Okay. I used to ice skate when I was a kid, but I haven't since. Lake Placid, that's right. I knew it had a P in it, and I kept wanting to say Plattsburgh, but I knew that wasn't it. There's places in New York have already got snow this past week, Annalyn. There's been a couple YouTube videos about them. And then they've had a little bit of snow up in Michigan. Chicago got some snow the other day. And then Wisconsin and Minnesota got snow. Annalyn, drop your link so the others can check your channel. The rest of you guys there, like I said, Annalyn's down a little bit south of Tampa. She's been here a little better than 10 years now. So for those of you that haven't made it here yet, somebody you can talk to about, the changes and stuff between home and here. And Lynn was also for a while there, I don't know if you're still doing it or not, was on a volleyball team. Hey, Monroe. You're far enough north, it should be cooling off there too. Told Annalyn to drop her link, and I guess she got shy. Still 7 people in the house, but it got quiet. Two more have come in. It's up to 9 now. Okay, Josh. Is IJ on? I saw she did live earlier today, but I missed it. I wasn't home yet, I guess, or whatever. Yeah, it went up to 9 a minute ago. It's down to 6 now here. Salted egg. That's not much of a lunch. Rena, I just bought another 18 carton of 18 eggs today. I still had a carton in the refrigerator. I think it's got 6 eggs in it that are dated January of this year. Yeah, she misses a night every once in a while. Iced tea, Annalyn. I kind of live on iced tea. Josh, who is D Mike? Not familiar with that one. Yep, sweetened. Well, I gave you that a while ago and told you to put your link up. So there's several other Filipinas in here that might, want to talk with you, whatever. You've been here a while where you can, give them some ideas on stuff here. No, I know who you mean. I figured he was probably on being Tinkerbell left. Where you heading to tomorrow, Mike? Oh, Dirty Mike. I'm not familiar with that one. I saw another one the other night. It was Dirty something or other, but I didn't think it was Mike. Rena, I also bought a pie today at Walmart. Now, Walmart's a big chain all over the world, and they sold a pie today that was expiring today. Sell by date was today, and they did it, so they could get rid of it. It was originally $9.98, and I got it for $5.65, I think. So see if the store can even sell it when you know the dates are at the end. There's nothing wrong with them. I had a piece of it for supper tonight, then I just put the rest of it in the refrigerator. It'll keep. It was a chocolate coconut pecan pie. Yeah. I got a box of a dozen donuts the same way, Josh. The date on them was today, and they had them marked down just over half price. I like donuts, have one every morning for breakfast if I have them. Yeah, it was really good, Ken. I've never had it before with the chocolate and the coconut, and I love pecan pies. But this was different. I wouldn't have paid $9 for it. I won't pay that much for a pie, but being they had it down to five something, I went ahead and got it. And I always cut a pie into six pieces, so for less than $1, I got 6 slices. The other one that surprised me today, I figured Walmart would have been the cheaper place, but Publix had turkeys for 49 cents a pound, and Walmart's were up around $1.50 a pound. And there had been talk a while back that there was going to be a shortage of turkeys for. The other day when I had to go to town, I saw a half dozen or so wild turkeys on the side of the highway. Another pie that I really like too and haven't in a long time is mincemeat. I've got stuff here to make uh, pecan pies and pumpkin pie both. Yeah, I've never been to his channel. I was thinking I saw somebody with a similar name on another live the other night. And then there's another one that I've been to a few times that I unsubbed him today because all they do is sit there and drink and whatnot. And I don't take an interest in that. Yeah, blackberry or blueberry pie, either one are both good. Ken, have you ever had gooseberries? I like gooseberry pie too. Only place I ever used to get them was at my grandmother's in Kansas. Gooseberries are kind of green, a little bit of purple in them, a little bit smaller than a pea, but they're on the bitter side. Takes quite a bit of sugar in the pie to make it enjoyable, but they make a good pie. See, I didn't know if you'd ever had them or not up there. I've heard they have gooseberries here in Florida, but I've never seen them. And most people, when you say something about them, they've never heard of them. Like I say, the only place I ever used to have them was when I went to my grandmother's in Kansas. I've never had dewberries. Well, I used to drink quite a bit younger, years. Ran around with a few people that we drank our share. When I was married before there, my ex, she had been married previously, and her husband was next basically an alcoholic, and she didn't like me drinking, so I kind of got away from it. And I'm at that same point now. I might have 1, 2 beers a month at the most. Okay, JB, we'll catch you later. I've heard of elderberries, but I've never had them either. But see, I'm originally from New York, and up there, our big thing for pies was apple, peaches, which were shipped in, um, pumpkin, and mincemeat. You could get blueberry pies, but it wasn't as common as down here. Is your Canadian beer higher alcohol content, Josh? Yeah, Ken, I've had somebody recently tell me, because usually when I go to get grocery stuff, I buy the big, like Three Musketeers and Zero and whatnot candy bars at Walmart, and I buy a whole bunch of those and put in the refrigerator door. And I've been hearing that from somebody about I'm eating too much sugar, need to get away from the candy bars. So when I got groceries today, I didn't get any candy bars. I got 4 boxes of brownie mix, 4 different kinds. Not sure what that did on the change out for sugar, but I got 4 boxes of brownie mix. I got a dozen donuts and a pie. No candy bars. Okay. I wondered on that when you said that, Josh, because I know some of the other foreign beers that we do have here are higher in alcohol content too. What's the stronger Philippine beer that you can get? I'm blank on the name of it right now. Ken, you know what I'm talking about. As you can get it here, but it's very expensive. The Philippines just has two beers, San Miguel, and I can't think of the other one now. I think the San Miguel is kind of a lot like Bush. Red Horse, okay. They do have that here. Like I say, it's very expensive though. All I could think of a minute ago there, Ken, when I was asking about that was Red Bull, and I knew that wasn't it. I just had the wrong part of the farmyard. Yeah, I think ours is only like 4.5 or something. The other I used to drink quite a bit of years back, and I haven't had any in many years. I used to drink Black Velvet and Canadian Mist. I like both of them real well. Yeah, the only place it's made is the Philippines. Yeah, I like that stuff like that, Josh. I haven't got any of it in a long time. And there's a few people here that I'm around quite a bit at times, and that's all they do is drink. So I mean, it's surprising that I don't, because I used to. That's what I did, Ken. Black Velvet and ginger ale, or Canadian Mist and ginger ale. And I have been known to get foolish a time or two and just drink it straight from the bottle. Every once in a while, I think about going and getting a bottle of it again, but I haven't bought it in so many years. I hate to think what the price of it is now. Because everything else, alcohol and stuff like that's gone up so much over the years. I mean, years back, I used to, go out like that on a Friday, Saturday night, whatever, and drink all night long. Go somewhere where they had like a country and western band to dance stuff, and drink there all night long. And if I spent $10, I thought I spent too much. Hell, most places anymore cost you $10 to get in the door. Yeah, that's what my neighbor across the road drinks all the time. I've got some Bud Light Lime in the refrigerator. Been there quite a while. Not in Florida, Josh. It is from medical, but as far as recreational, no. The last election, they got the medical marijuana pushed through, but there's an attorney down here that spent a big fortune on it to try to get it legalized because of his brother that got injured in, I think, in a diving accident or something years ago. Oh, really? Well, you guys, I don't know if you may not have heard of him, Josh, but I'm sure Ken probably has. Good night, Annalyn. But the law firm Morgan and Morgan, they've got offices all over the U.S. But he's the one that pushed it down here to get medical marijuana legalized in Florida. And spent $1 million and some dollars of his own money to get it, pushed through and for the ballot. Marine, does he like Bud Light because he's scared of the dark? Yeah, Colorado's one state where it's legal for recreational use. They had problems right at the start when they was doing that because people were going down on the ski slopes and stuff, getting high and then getting hurt coming down the slopes. Ken, do you mean the same picture you have on the milk carton? Where you been, Tinkerbell? You taking a nap? Ken, you drink bottled or canned beer? A lot of people don't care for the cans anymore. Yeah, well, that's the way it is in most anything, Josh. I mean, just like years back, when the big fight was keeping alcohol and stuff off the streets and everywhere. Now with the tax and everything on it, the government makes a fortune. That's why I've never understood why they don't legalize prostitution. It's going to happen anyways, and if it was legalized, then there'd be more requirements and stuff they have to meet to stay with it, and then it would be taxed too. So again, the government would make money. Mike, just give them to Rena. She'll put them in the fish. I've got a neighbor that eats pistachios all the time, and then he takes the shells from them afterwards and tosses them out in his yard for fertilizer. Another one that he does, and I do it too, is eggshells. I leave them sit until they dry up, so you can just crunch them up in your hand and spread the eggshells out in the grass. They put calcium back in the ground. Mike, is Rena still wrapping presents? That's what she said she was doing before, and she got quiet. How's she going to take all of these to pass them out? She's going to need half a dozen helpers. Now, which are you talking about, Josh? The marijuana or the prostitution? Chris Wren has a channel on YouTube. It's a Brit in the Philippines. Him and his wife and a couple other girls or whatever that in the neighborhood used to do that all the time, passing out the presents and stuff to kids. And the girls would dress up as elves when they went out to do it. And then check out the Rileys. He dresses up as Santa every year and goes down to the mall and stuff. And all the kids and even the adults too gather around him to get pictures, you know, of themselves with him. But the kids have a lot of fun when he goes and does that. And then his wife there, Mercy, videos most of it there to put on their YouTube channel. Yeah. He's got the big full beard and the big belly, and he's tall to begin with. So puts him over top of, you know, all the Filipinos. Hi again, Sammy. It's okay, Josh. The CIA's already figured out your code. Yeah, I followed their channel back when they kind of were first getting going before they were monetized and stuff. But then they got a few people that came in that kind of spoiled it for a while, and I got away from them, and I only hit and miss once in a while now. They haven't been doing as much on YouTube as they used to. They got over on TikTok, and they're doing more there. They're getting more response out of stuff over there, though. And I think it's got where with TikTok, I've never used it, so I don't know how exactly it works, but I've heard people talking that if you're doing it enough, just like with the YouTube, you can start making money off of it too. So nah, I don't think so, Mike. I know I'm a little bit crazy, but I don't think I'm quite that crazy yet. My luck, I'd fall and get hurt. But there's some people that spend a lot of time doing their TikTok videos and stuff, and then they put them on YouTube and have built their YouTube channel by using the TikTok videos. You think so, Ken? Well, Sammy, that's something I don't do is give out anybody else's. If I have their Skype, their email, or anything, I don't give those out to anybody. The only one I may do is somebody's YouTube channel, but anybody can look that up anyway. So I figure if I'm giving that out, I'm helping you, but the rest of it, I don't. That is true. Yeah, there was somebody here the other day from Little Debbie Snack Cakes was looking for Ken, but I didn't tell him where to find him. But that's the same thing on here. And I've only got two people that I've ever blocked on here. One of them was just recently, and the other one, I don't even know who it is or why they're blocked. I tried to look the channel and stuff. I don't remember what I found on it, but it's hard to say, Josh. I mean, it's almost 9:30 in the evening there. You would think she'd have stuff pretty well done. Well, that was why I said that, Ken. I thought Maureen would catch it, but she didn't. I've never blocked you, Sammy. A little Debbie's Snack Cake's been around for a long time. I don't know how their stock actually runs. I always thought, years back, McDonald's would be a good one to have, but I don't know if they do so well anymore. Okay, Josh, I remember that. Yeah, the Walmart here in town used to have McDonald's as you walked in the front door, and it's gone now, and it's Domino's Pizza now, and they've got a sign up there, hiring there for the new Domino's Pizza, and Walmart's got a sign up right at the front door that they're hiring. Sammy, if I blocked you, I'd be bored. I wouldn't have nobody to argue with. But right now, I can't see why anybody can't get a job somewhere because everywhere you go, they got signs up help wanted. Just nobody wants to work. And then the other bunch of them there around here, we have the thieves. And I've always said if they worked half as hard at a regular job as they do out stealing stuff, they'd be rich. Well, and I agree with what you're saying, Josh. And that's the thing I feel sorry for, like the people in the Philippines. There's so many there that would like to work, but the U.S. the stipulations for them to come here is so tough that they can't get in to come here to work. And you know the difference in the pay scale from what they have at home and the working conditions, it'd be a plus plus situation for them. Yeah, there used to be a kid living across the road from me now. I mean, one of the girls that lived over there was her boyfriend, but that's the way he was. He went through I don't know how many jobs while he was there, and he wouldn't work but a week, and he'd get fired. And most time it was for showing up late for work or taking a day off or whatever. And he'd only been there a week. And then when he was drawing unemployment, he kept turning jobs down because they didn't pay enough. He thought he should get, management wages to start a new job. Sammy, you have to look under little people. Yeah, there's a lot of that too, Ken. Yeah, my TV's on, but I got the volume muted. Oh, reruns of Magnum PI is on. I'm not real fond of the old Magnum show. I like the newer Magnum that they had here the last couple of years ago. Then I don't know if it's still on now or not. Same thing with the new Hawaii 5.0. I like the new one of that too, but they ended that one. My TV, Sammy, is usually on all day long. Even if I go out and work out in the my scrap pile in the driveway or something, my TV will still be on. I just never shut it off. And this laptop, I turn it on in the morning when I get up, and it's on till I go to bed. I don't shut it off. That's why a lot of times you think I'm here online and you say something to me and I don't reply because I'm not even in the house. I need to, Josh. I just got to figure out how. There's been several people have asked about it, and I keep saying that, and I don't think of it when I start the live, and I say, "Oh shoot, I should have tried the other," because there's a few people that want to get on it. I just haven't done it yet. Now, Sammy, we're talking about a guy on TV there. It's on a TV show that's on years ago. He was the show was based in Hawaii, so half the time he's running around in really tight short shorts. He was a private investigator. I just send the bill to you, Sammy, let you pay it. That's where your money's going all the time. I've just had the company collect the money from you, so I didn't have to pay it. Yeah, Marine is so secret, I don't know about it. Well, that's good if you can get them, but they're expensive to start with. It takes you a while before you get your money back that you've got invested in it. I've thought about the same thing here, but a couple drawbacks on it. One, like I say, the investment, before you ever get your money back. But the other, I'm leery about having them poking stuff up on the roof. I don't have a leak now, and I don't want them to create one. I didn't say getting it from me, Sammy. I said I was getting the money from you. You were paying my electric bill. Yeah, well, that's like everything, Josh. I mean, when the stuff first comes out, it's high because it's new and they know they can make money off it. And then after everybody gets it, the prices come down. I had also considered years back too, when I had a different piece of property, putting up like those big windmills. Well, I hadn't seen that, Ken. The one I was referring to, it's on a couple years ago, but he drove the Ferrari and stuff too, just like the old Magnum did. But I don't have a big enough property here to put one of those windmills up now. Yeah, and the other thing with the solar panels, I mean, you got to have the panels that produce the electric, but then you got to have all the batteries for the backup for, at night and whatever. Another big expense. And all the electronics that go with it to make it usable for you. Okay, Sammy, I don't blame you there. You're paying somebody to do it. You want it done right. Yeah, they're supposed to be putting their tile down on the bathroom floor, Josh. She just showed a video the other day of them putting tile in another room. I don't know if it's living room or where it was. I don't remember now. It was a tile with design on it. My other house there that I used to live in, when I was there, it's a block house and it had a concrete floor that I painted. And when the guy that bought it from me, he went through it and put tile through the whole house. He spent a lot of money on it. But he put in, I don't think it's perfectly smooth. I think it's got a little bit of texture to it. And it's white with a little bit of off white or something in it. I don't remember. But it looked nice. Josh, link for what? Oh, for Sammy's channel? I can give you that. There's the link for Sammy. You got them all wrapped, Rena? So you know where mine's at, or you just got it mixed in with the rest of them? Now, do you have 6 people to help carry them with you to go give them out? You got an awful lot of them there. You're going to need help. When Maureen gets there, you'll have to dress her up as a little elf. Let her help you. Does anyone know my first name? Yeah, probably half the people here do. Hey, Mercy. We were just talking about you a little while ago. Well, actually, we were talking about Santa Claus, but your name was in it. Do you know it now, Josh, or not? Yeah, we were talking about holidays and Santa Claus, and I mentioned your channel about Bill always dressing up as Santa Claus all the time, and you doing the videos of him, and the kids having fun and whatnot, watching him or being around him. Josh, my name's David. Well, that's what I was saying, Ken. Most do, but Josh said he didn't. But anyways, like I said, Mercy, we were talking about Christmas and whatnot, and I mentioned about your channel and Bill doing the Santa Claus stuff around the store and the mall and whatnot, and you doing videos of it. Chris Wren there and over in Naga, they do the Christmas presents and stuff for kids each year, and his wife Mel and one or two of her friends used to dress up as elves and go pass out presents to the kids too. And they did videos on the YouTube channel for that. Mercy, he was talking football. He thought that was Bill. Well, the other thing, Josh, whenever you do somebody's name instead of typing it, if you just do that or that, and then the first couple letters of their name, YouTube will fill it in for you. See, all I did here is I just did the pound sign and JO, and then hit enter and hit enter again, and there's your name. I don't have to type it. Anytime, Mercy. I mean, I always enjoyed them too, and that's why I was asking before if he's going to do it again this year. I've heard you put out a couple of them, I guess, already, and I haven't had a chance to watch him yet. You should still be able to do that on the phone, Josh. Type the @ sign or the pound sign, and then the first couple letters of the name, and anybody that's in the chat that starts with that same thing, then you can pick that one. If it's only one of them, then it's easy, and just hit it, and YouTube will go ahead and enter the name for you. You don't have to type the whole thing. But Mercy, I always used to enjoy watching, the kids and stuff with Bill and whatnot, and just their reaction to him, was playing Santa. Mercy, drop your link in there so that way people can check out your Santa videos. We'll put your link in so that people can follow you and watch that. I think they'll like seeing what he does there and all. That's what we were talking about before. He's got the beard, he's got the belly, you got the suit. He's all set. Yeah, that's what Rena's been doing. She spent the last few days wrapping gifts for kids that she got. But go ahead and drop your link, Mercy. That'll save me going and looking it up and me dropping it. All right, Josh, you should be able to don't use both. All right, there's check out the Riley's link, check out their channel. But Josh, use the @ or the pound. Don't use both. And then the first couple letters of whoever's name that's in the chat that you want to say something with, and it should bring the name up for you. IJ said before she had trouble with that too and couldn't get it to work, but I think lately she's been doing it, so she must have figured it out. But if anybody wants to watch Crazy Bill playing Santa Claus, there it is. Mercy, tell Bill that we all expect Christmas gifts too. I'll be by tomorrow morning, Mercy. Can I get breakfast while I'm there too? No, I don't want rice and fish heads now. I want a good American breakfast. I got to make things difficult for you. You'll take me to where? Oh, okay. Well, you lived here for a while. You know what we eat for breakfast. Usually, though, I'm very simple on it. I eat a bowl of cold cereal and milk every morning. Hey, IJ, we were wondering where you were. IJ, you're going to have to show Josh how to put people's names in so he doesn't have to type them out. I tried to explain it to him, but he says it's not working on his phone. Yeah, sure. You went and ate and didn't bring us anything. I'm surprised you always eat so late there. I thought I was the only one that did that. Hi, Jade. Did you get any more snow? Yeah, buffet is always a good place to eat. That's why I like Golden Corral. Now I've just heard so many other places up, in the North Country's gotten snow. I thought Chicago would have had some. Was it a seafood buffet or just a standard buffet that had oysters in it? Though? That's always a plus right there. You get to eat and don't have to cook. Didn't have to do dishes either. Okay. Well, that's kind of set up then like Golden Corral is. I don't think they have prime rib. I don't believe they do have a steak, there that you can get, plus everything else on the buffet. Golden Corral has a big dessert bar too, but one of the things I've always said was kind of off a little bit, wrong, whatever on that. It's too much of the stuff they have in their dessert bar has chocolate in it. And a lot of people, especially diabetic, whatever, can't have the chocolate. So, I mean, they used to have a good selection of stuff, between pies and cakes and whatnot, but I guess it's like everything else, that it depends on, what money will buy, and they're getting the other. IJ, you're a Filipino. You mean you didn't surprise everybody and sit and eat with your fingers? You just do that. You sit there and eat with your fingers. Then when everybody's watching, pretty soon you just sit up and look at them and says, "What? I'm saving on dishes to wash." You never can tell. Lola may join you. She might like eating with her fingers. You might convince her, then she'll just toss her silverware aside and say, "Ah, hell with it," and just eat with her fingers. Yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it. Plus, I don't like eating messy that way. I mean, I even eat pizza with a fork and knife. Looks like everybody's slowly disappearing. I've only got 3 left in the house. Yeah, Josh, that's the way I eat pizzas. I use a fork and a knife to, cut it and eat it. I eat chicken that way too. About the only time I don't eat chicken that way is my neighbor next door here. Her daughter, one of her daughters, works at KFC, and once in a while she brings home stuff from KFC, and they give me some of it. They give me a bucket of chicken or something like that, and I put it in the refrigerator because actually I'm not going to eat it all at one time, and then I get out a couple of pieces of it cold. Then I will eat it with my fingers. But if I cook some, chicken for a hot meal, I eat it with a fork and a knife. There's another Filipina. She's here in the U.S., lives in Kentucky. She's been doing some videos here lately of her, and then she started doing a couple with just her husband too. And they have she has a mic that picks up the sound so much that you can hear every crunch of the food and everything as she's eating it. And she just sits there and eats a pizza or eats, whatever it is that she's got. And that's her video. But you hear, like I said, everything she's crunching on it, she's chewing it and everything. How do I look familiar, IJ? That could be, Josh. I haven't looked in the post office lately. Well, go in that same direction with the lack of sense of humor, however you want to say it, with the Filipinos. Years back there, I was talking with a girl in the Philippines, and her brother-in-law got on cam. I happened to see him, and I made a comment the same way. I recognized him. I saw his picture, most wanted down at the post office. He got madder than heck at me over that. But it's, just the Filipino lack of a sense of humor that we have. IJ, will you cook up a big turkey for Thanksgiving? It's a lot of work cooking a turkey, taking care of it afterwards, but you get a lot of meals out of it. Well, Josh, part of it's language, yes, but a lot of it too is they just don't understand our jokes and stuff, and they take it serious. I can hear it raining. I didn't think it was supposed to rain tonight. Yeah, I don't like, I like turkey, but I don't like having to clean it all up after you fix it, because there's a lot of work just getting all the meat cut off the bones and whatnot so you can put it away. And I use all of what's left for sandwiches. Most people, use it and fix more hot meals out of it, warm it up and whatnot. But Mercy, I want to, but right now I'm in a situation. If you've watched any of my videos with all my kitties and stuff, I don't have anybody to take care of them, so I can travel. I can't get IJ to come down here and sit here and take care of my kitties for me. Yeah, see, with the turkey or chickens, either one, I've never been real fond of the wings. Um, I've always liked the breast meat, which is the white meat on a turkey. But even in a sandwich, the legs and stuff, the dark meat is good because I put that on there with mayonnaise. If I've got dressing, I'll put dressing in the sandwich too. But I like turkey sandwiches. What do you mean you're allergic to cats? I've seen a picture of you with a cat as your icon. You just said you're getting off for 2 weeks. You can come down here and stay with them, and I'll take and go to over and visit Mercy for 2 weeks. That way I can watch Bill run around play Santa Claus. But as far as me going to the Philippines, yes, I would like to. I've been saying that for a long time, but just don't know how that will happen. When I had my other cat put to sleep back in, I don't remember now, 2015 maybe, I said I wasn't going to get any more animals because they tie me down, and I wanted to be able to travel. Plus, when I was on the road, it was costing me money because everywhere I went, like when I would stop, park my truck to load cars, unload, whatever, I'd have to leave my truck sitting there running with the air conditioner on for the cat in the truck. So that was costing me more in fuel. But I got crazy and, took in some more. Which part what, IJ? And IJ, instead of fixing a whole turkey, I think you can buy just the drumstick too. Which, if you got a couple of those, would be quite a bit of meat. It wouldn't be near as hard to fix. I've got 2 turkeys in the freezer now. And I went and bought a boneless ham today. Yeah, I'm not even sure who's here most of the time right now. It shows 4. IJ and Josh. Mercy keeps saying something once in a while, but in between times, so I don't know if she's here or gone. Now there's 5. Tinkerbell said she was background. Oh, hey, Charlotte. Good to see you come on. I saw your video there the other day. It was good to see you again. I'm doing okay. She's been in and out a couple times tonight, IJ. She's not here 2 minutes and she's gone again. She just popped in a while ago there and just said BG and was gone. So I don't know whether she's busy working or if she's off what we talked about before. IJ, Charlotte there, she's in the UK, her and her husband. They used to do live streams about every night, and then with stuff with COVID and whatnot, things got tight and whatnot, and they weren't doing them for a while. She works something like you do, only she works in Charlotte. What is yours, a nursing home or assisted care facility? But she works in a group place anyways, where you're doing individual. No, BG means background. Yeah, I've been doing them here for a little bit lately. I got crazy one day and sat here poking buttons and came up live, and so I've just been popping one up once in a while to do something different and see whether I can build up enough watch hours and whatever to ever get this where it's productive for me. Mine doesn't earn anything yet, though, IJ. I just happened to think about the time there, Charlotte. You're up off early, or are you getting ready to go to work? I don't like getting up early in the morning. I had to go to the eye doctor. What's the day? Yesterday. Forgot already. And when they asked me what time I wanted, they gave me the different ones that were available. I went with 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That way I didn't have to struggle to get up. And then when I got done, he said, okay, I'll see you in a year. I got out the front desk and the girl said, okay, 1 year. She says, I can get you in November 16th next year. Got one for 8:30, got one for 9 o'clock. I says, you have any later? She said, well, I got 1 o'clock again. I said, that works. I mean, if I have to get up early, I can do it. I just don't have an alarm clock anymore. It's the only problem I have. Mine messed up a while back, and I don't have a need for it, so I haven't gone and bought another one. I had to take the girl across the road to work here a while back at 5 in the morning. And I told her to give me a call around 4:30. No, 4:15, because she wanted to leave at 4:30. And I never heard from her. I got up and got ready and was outside. And then she called me and I said, yeah, I'm ready. I'm out here. She'd overslept. Charlotte, the people that you work for and take care of and whatnot, are they just elderly people or are they there for medical reasons? There's another girl here in the States that has a YouTube channel. She does the same thing as what you're doing. She usually works night shift, though. She likes that. Her channel name is her actual name of Rona Singleton. She has a YouTube channel. She hasn't been on in quite a while. Oh, it's all right, IJ. I didn't call you. You didn't have to answer. Well, I didn't intend to be on here this long tonight, and I've been here over 3 hours. Rena's back. I guess I should go ahead and end this, just because, like I said, it's dragged on for so long. Yeah, Charlotte, I was just asking what type of place it is you work. Do you just work with elderly people, or do you work with medical requirements? I know you've probably told me before, but I don't remember. because what IJ does is in-home caretaker. Yeah, but I haven't done my 5 and 6 hour ones like you do, IJ. Or like Rena does. She says short LS. 3 hours later, she's still at it. But as far as talking, I've always said I'm a lot like one of my grandfathers, my grandfather on my dad's side. He never met a stranger. I'm the same way. I can go anywhere and talk to anybody. I've heard mom and dad talk about back after they first got married. Dad was from Kansas, mom was from New York, and dad was in New York with the military. And they got married, and then my grandparents later came to New York to the house. And they said the first morning when they got up, my grandfather was gone. Nobody had any idea where he was at. He'd already got up and was down the road with the neighbors having coffee. And that's kind of the way I am. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are like that, but then there's a lot of others that are totally opposite. They keep to themselves. They don't even know who their neighbors are. I've got a lot of neighbors here now that I don't really know, just because I don't like some of the neighbors and the people that have moved in the area since I've been here. But when I first moved to this area was I would guess was probably 99% retired people, and probably 95% of them were snowbirds. So every summer they went back north, and they come back here in the winter. But I got where I knew practically everyone in here. But as they've gotten older and either passed away or got where they couldn't travel back and forth anymore, and the kids didn't want the place themselves, we got a lot of younger people in here now that some are thieves, some are, your drug people and whatever. And I don't care to associate with them, so I don't know a lot of them anymore. Don't want to. Yeah. I've taken in the Philippines, just go out and walk down the road, and naturally, I was an attraction to everybody, so they always had to come out and want to talk to me, invite me in their house and whatever. I stopped at different places and just talked to people. I mean, I've commented about that before, that some of the things though in the Philippines, just because everything is basically, so far behind in times compared to us. I mean, like one of the things you see the Filipinos doing all the time, they're always doing the peace sign. Well, that was from back in the, was it 60s or whenever, when Richard Nixon was president. And when I was over there, like one guy I sat and talked with there for half of one afternoon, a lot of stuff he talked about was our former president, John F. Kennedy. Well, That was back in the 60s. But that is the stuff that, they were aware of and knew something about. I think in some cases it makes it harder for a person there, and I could be wrong, I'm guessing, to get the education you get over there and then try to come someplace like here and then not meet the qualifications required for the job here because of the difference in education level or whatever. And so many over there. I mean, one, you get out of high school with fewer years than we do here, and so many go on, and get a college degree of some sort over there that a lot of them here now don't do anymore. No, that was something they never did with me. I've heard others, make that comment that every place they go, that's what they get called, but they never did with me. Okay, Charlotte. I thought you was just in one place. I know you changed locations at once here a while back, and I don't remember what the reasoning was for it, but I thought it was still the same type. That you were working, like you said, hospital or assisted living or whatever, but I didn't know you did home care too. I imagine they both had their ups and downs. No, they didn't. I mean, if the people got to know me, yeah, they called me by name, but the people on the street, you know, they never called me that. Didn't call me Joe, but they would come and talk to me and just, sir or whatever. They were respectful of me. I think a lot of it too, is just the curiosity of, a foreigner being in the neighborhood. Because both places that I stayed at was outside of town, and they were on a dirt road, such, I mean, so not locations that they had a lot of heavy traffic through all the time. Just just be the locals. I don't know what that is, LJ or IJ. Um, I was there just 2 weeks each trip. But see, when I was there, it was back in 2006 and 2007, and you could only stay, I think, 3 weeks at a time then without a visa. Now you can stay 30 days. Oh yeah, I enjoy. That's why I've always said I'd like to go back. I mean, in both trips, I was there end of October, first part of November. So I mean, so the weather itself really wasn't bad. It was comparable to here, and I enjoyed, just seeing the differences in the two countries. Yeah. Well, that right there, Ken, too, is one of the reasons why a lot of stuff times when I say stuff and ask questions of people when they're talking about things is because of mine being back farther. Uh, a tricycle ride from where I stayed at to go into town at one of the places was only 6 pesos. But it's like everything else. Prices have gone up, and it's just I haven't seen it, so I don't know what things are now. My first trip, I was down in Davao. My second trip, I was over in Dait in Camarines North. And there was another part too, seeing the differences in some of the places that I see, some of the girls right here now with the tricycles, because it depends on what area you're in, how the tricycles are built. Most of them you're seeing, like when you see Marine or Samir or whoever riding around, it's just the bike with a little sidecar. You got place for about two people and up in front. The ones down in Davao had the back sections you could get depending on their size, but Philippine people, probably six people in the back, and then somebody in the front. Okay. Well, I was in the city, we went into Davao different times, go to the mall and whatever. But actually where I stayed at was out, I think, northwest of town. But I'm not 100% sure. But it's kind of out in the small community outside of Davao. Like I say, both places I stayed at were outside of the communities where I was at, down a dirt road. One of them was a dead end road, even. So there was very little traffic on it. So if I went out for a walk, I was a stranger in the neighborhood. So everybody had to come out and see who I was. Yes, both times I was there, I went over particularly to see an individual, and I stayed at their house. Yeah, there's another guy that lives. I'm trying to think now. Maybe he's in Arkansas. I'm not sure, because every time he flies out to go to the Philippines, he flies out of Nashville, but he goes to see that girl down there in southern Mindanao. He stayed at her place one of his trips over there, which I think was kind of culture shock for him till he got used to the heat and the mosquitoes and whatnot. But all of his other trips, they've always stayed at fancy hotels and resorts and whatever. And I always used to get onto him about it. I says, if you want to go to the Philippines, you need to quit going over there and being a tourist. You need to go over there and live like the Filipinos do, or you're never going to know what the country's like. Oh yeah, got to take the shower with the bucket and the dipper. You kind of learn not to waste water taking a shower like that. And the other thing that always got me, you could take and get water out and leave it overnight, thinking, well, it'll be up to air, room temperature by morning, but it was still cold. Yeah, and the way he was, I can't see them wasting the time they did on the videos they did with him. I mean, as far as I was concerned, he was just a first class jerk, especially the way he treated her. Ken, my first 34 years in Florida, I never had air conditioning in my house. The other house that I used to live in, that I just recently sold, did not have air conditioning in it. This one does because it was my parents, and I helped have it put in when they were still here. But I lived in the other one for 34 years without air conditioning down here in Florida. Well, yeah, IJ. If you're not awake, they wake you up. One of the other things that always kind of got me that, and it still seems strange, is even the ones at home. I heard the reason why they don't do it in the like McDonald's or wherever, because they said people stole them. But at home, not having a toilet seat, never quite understood that one. But when I was in the Philippines, where I slept at was just with a fan on this. And the second place I was in, we did have a mosquito net that didn't have the first one, but yeah, the second place I stayed at, they didn't even have, yeah, they didn't have seats on the toilets, just the bowl. But like I say, the second place I stayed at, they didn't even have their refrigerator plugged in when I got there. They went and plugged it in so they could put stuff in it to be cold for me. Well, Ken, if you watch a lot of these videos, of the Filipinas where they're showing, even like with Sammy's, if you watch hers when she gets it, I'll bet you, you'll see the bowl doesn't even have a place for it to have a tank on it or to have a seat attached to it. That's just the way they make them over there. Yeah, that was the reason, IJ. And the same thing, a lot of people over there, they've, gotten used to doing stuff the old ways. And again, looking to save water even. They'll have a washing machine, not use it, and still wash their clothes by hand. The one that I went to see there, she also owned at that time an internet cafe. And one of the things that they did every time a customer got done using the computer, they went over and turned it off. The old computers you couldn't do that with. Turning them on and off all the time was hard on them. The new ones, they've changed the designs in them, and it don't hurt them. You can shut them off and turn them back on a dozen times a day, and it don't hurt them. But the old ones, it was hard on them, and she was always having problems with her computers. But she shut them off every time a customer got done with them, trying to save on electric. No, it's not me, Mike. It's just the place where I stayed at. That's the way they were. Yeah, but what I'm saying though, IJ, there's people over there that have. Well, example, there's a channel there called Tim K. He's a foreigner from the U.S. and they live down on Leyte, married to a Filipina, And he went and bought his mother-in-law a washing machine. And he says whenever they go over to their house, the washing machine's sitting in the corner, and his mother-in-law's washing clothes by hand. Don't want to waste the water. Or Mike, were you talking about my live stream, the one I said I was going to end a while ago? Yeah, that's what I said earlier. That says Rena always says she's doing a short one, and it ends up being 3 and 4 hours. The first place I stayed at, I've even seen the girl's mother stand there and watch me while I was at the sink washing my hands. And I wondered, was I using too much water to wash my hands? Water is just something here we take for granted and don't think about it. I mean, I grew up at home as a kid having to watch the water we used because we went to a well up the road, a couple houses up, and carried our drinking water home and put it in a big igloo, like a water cooler, but it's not cooled. It's just sitting there to store water in, and then we could fill stuff out of it to cook with and drink and whatever. But we pumped water out of the river to use for baths, wash clothes, flush the toilet, whatever. And in the wintertime, we had to disconnect our piping to the river so it wouldn't freeze. Then on a nice day, we would hook it back up and pump it up and fill up the big tank and all that stuff in the house, and then go back out and unhook it and drain the lines back out. And then we had to run off of that water for everything, until we filled it again. So, we didn't waste water that way. Well, I can see that too if it's something you're not used to. And the other thing that I always laugh about because they kind of don't understand it. They have a washer and it has a spinner on it, but the spinner is mislabeled as a dryer. When it don't dry the clothes, it just spins the water out. Which our washers here wash it and spin it all in one thing. Then you take them out to dry them. We don't have a separate, tub to spin them in. I had one years ago like that, but you know. Yeah, we had in our house up home when I lived at home with mom and dad as a kid, we had one room there on the side of the house. It was accessible inside. It wasn't accessible outside, but it had the water pump in it, which was plumbed down through, went down through under the house and went out across, and it was buried out across the yard to the river. And where it stuck out in the air down by the riverbank, it had a coupling that you take that part of it off and pull it up out of the water. But in where the pump was in that storeroom, we had a big galvanized tank, which like the ones you see on horse farms or cattle farms and stuff where they have them out in the pasture for the livestock to drink out of. We had one of those in there and we would fill that up. And then if it got a spell where they were really talking, a bunch of 30 and 40 below zero weather, so you wouldn't be able to pump water for a while, we'd even fill up extra 5-gallon buckets and set them in there. And then as we use the water out of the big tank, we'd pour the buckets in there. If it went too long that we couldn't hook back to the river and pump water again, we'd end up carrying it from that well up the road where we got our drinking water and carry it down and dump it in that big water tank. And then when we got a day that was halfway decent where we could do it so the water line didn't freeze up. Because we've had spells there where if you weren't careful, the water line would freeze up while you were pumping the water to fill your tank and stuff up. And then you had problems getting things thawed out again so they didn't bust the pipe. Because if you did that, then you had to go buy new galvanized pipe and tear it all apart and replace them parts and whatever. But we'd have to go down there on the dock chop a hole in the ice to stick the pipe into the water to be able to run the pump to fill that. Then disconnect that. We put that piece of pipe in the garage so it was, protected from the weather, out of the way and whatever. And then the rest of it then would drain. Just a lot of stuff that, we all did, years back as kids and stuff that the kids today don't realize. And they would be lost without their, iPhones and cell phones and laptops and whatnot, that we never had any of that stuff as a kid. We had a black and white TV that we got 3 channels on. Well, I'll take that back. Where we lived at, we got 4 because we had CBS, NBC, and ABC. And then we got, I don't know what channel it was, but it was a Canadian station because we were close enough to the Canadian border. We picked up one Canadian station. So you might have to chain up tomorrow, Mike. Yeah, and IJ, the road I lived on is when I was a kid, the town didn't even plow it. It was a private road and they didn't come in with a plow even. We had to keep it open ourselves. Somebody that lived on the road got a hold of an old truck with an old V plow. And when we got a bunch of snow and stuff like that, they would get that plow and come up, and all the rest of the guys would go out and help, and they'd run it down the road till it couldn't push no farther. Then they'd shovel all the snow out in front of it, throwing it to both sides of the road. He'd back up and he'd run it again and go as far as they could till it couldn't push no more, and then they'd shovel all the snow away to get the road open. And then we had to take and walk from the house out to where the county maintained road was to get the school bus. And then when you got off the bus in the afternoon, you had to walk it back home. But I did that from kindergarten clear up through to, probably in the junior high somewhere, I guess, before the county took over, or the township took over the road and put down a gravel and tar road. It was never blacktop, it was gravel and tar. And then they plowed it and the school bus run it then. Well, we got 4 channels, IJ, but we had 2 antennas, one for part of them and one for the others. The house we had as a kid there, Mom and Dad bought it when I was just a baby. And originally it was a summer cottage. So it wasn't designed for winter use, really. Dad put in a couple of the old, what they call pot-belly kerosene stoves to heat with. One was in the kitchen, one was in the living room. And I don't think at first they had but just one. The one in the living room, I think, was the only one there. Yeah, I understand that one, Ken. And the walls in the house, because later in years, Dad redid stuff and added on the house and made it bigger and whatnot. But the walls inside the house used to have what was called homosote, which a lot of people don't even know what it is, but that was the interior walls. And when he tore them out, to redo it and re-insulate and put in new good quality windows and stuff, the walls were insulated with newspaper. They didn't even have fiberglass insulation in it. Yeah, I was a baby once, IJ. a long time ago. Yeah, Mike, we used to get where I lived at, the three American channels, ABC, ABC, CBS, and NBC was 3, 7, and 9, and then the Canadian channel was 11. Now we didn't have the fireplace can. We just had the kerosene heaters, like you're saying. The one in the living room had two burners in it, so you could light one or the other or both. The one in the kitchen that they put in later years just had one, which then, while I was still living at home when I was in high school, they switched from the kerosene, went to LP gas, and put in, LP stoves, both living room and kitchen. Because the water heater and the kitchen stove were already gas. And then doing that, getting the bigger tanks, because originally they were using two of the 100-pound tanks. And when they put the others and stuff all in, they brought out a 500-gallon tank, a big one, and had it set out in the backyard. And then even Mom's clothes dryer, which same thing I've got here, my clothes dryer here runs on LP gas. It has electric to spin the drum, but the heat source is gas instead of electric. I haven't seen Benny Hill shows in years. Then after I left home, Mom and Dad put in a wood stove. But I have a wood stove down here too. I had one in my other house, and I've got one here that Mom and Dad put in when they had this place. I still run across Archie Bunker here once in a while. I don't remember what channel it's on, but it's got a bunch of them old ones like that. Once in a while, because it don't always come in, but once in a while I'll get it, and they'll have shows like that, and the old Adam 12 or Emergency there with Roy DeSoto and John Gage. I don't think I've ever seen that one, IJ. Yep, I'm for real. I can't place the name of it, so I'm guessing I haven't seen it. But there's some of them shows that used to be on that a lot of people really liked, and I just didn't care for them, so I didn't watch them. Like Welcome Back, Kotter, or all right, I like George Burns. I can't think who the other one is though. And then a couple of them others that they had on too. Oh, I can't think the names of them now. Shoot. But I just, some of the comedy shows, I just didn't care for them. Okay, Ken, catch you later. I think I'm going to call it in too. It's 3 hours and 44 minutes going on now so far for the night. Shows there's only 2 left in the house. I don't know if it's Mike or Tinkerbell's still in the background. I may send you an email in a few minutes, IJ. Don't mean you got to wait for it. It'll be there tomorrow, whatever, but I may send you one for a couple stuff that happened tonight. And I'll talk with everyone later. Thanks for coming in. Like I said, I dragged this out a lot longer than I planned. I get talking and don't know enough to shut up. Now it's after midnight. I got to go and pick up the kitty's dishes yet, too. Yeah, I need to go to sleep. I stay up too late every night, and I don't want to get up in the morning. Later, everyone.